YouTube? It's your boys, Detroit Love, PDUBS Arcade Loft, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Restalgia with another episode of the Super GameRoom Dudes. Let's get it started.
Well, we've hit the end of the road, gentlemen. That's right. Our Transformers long first season is officially coming to a conclusion today. Michael B., do you remember how long that first season of Transformers cartoons was? I swear it was like 86 episodes.
It was 86 episodes. I'm pretty sure that's on the money, actually.
And we are right around 86 episodes as well, so it seems a perfect time for us to bring you guys a new hot take of the Super GameRoom Dudes. So on our next broadcast, you guys will see new layouts, new segments that we've been working on, new surprises, new funny things, all that kinds of stuff. So we got a lot of stuff in the hopper for next week. Go ahead.
Can I give him a hint? So everybody,
Yep.
Think Jerry Springer. Restalgia, you are not the father.
That's Maury Povich.
That's Maury Povich.
Yeah. So, and we will be syndicated on UPN. Do you remember the UPN? Is that still around? Did you guys have
UPN?
That? It was like the United Paramount Network. It was like syndicated TV late at night.
I don't think we had that here in Canada.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Kamala. Congrats, Super GameRoom Dudes, on a great year, even though Restalgia was only on the show 60.39% of the time. I absolutely agree. Will Restalgia be in the top row? Will he get his big promotion from bottom row Canadian to top row American host? We'll find out. So we'll have some fun stuff for you next week. So today we're probably going to burn through all the old assets and things. Probably the last time you guys are going to see some of the usual stuff that you usually see on our show. And I'm really hoping that Michael B. and Restalgia can get along this episode, because last week it got pretty heated, man.
That's what made things awkward.
Yeah.
It made things awkward.
But you know what? Mike and I had a nice long conversation. We decided that in order to let bygones be bygones, I would copy his background. So I did that. So I went ahead and I set my background up to be just like his. And I heard through the grapevine that he actually copied you, PDUBS. So I think...
I literally just noticed your background.
but is it just
the background?
Yeah, and then we got Carl on the phone and we said, "Hey Carl, if I'm copying Mike, who copied PDUBS, then Carl, you have to copy me."
That's what I did. I did that exactly.
You guys totally planned this. I had no idea this was happening. That is hilarious. And Restalgia's wearing a cap. They were happy that you're back to wearing your baseball hats. $5 donation from Movie Mark. Much love to you all. Keep up the good work, gentlemen. Good stuff. All right. So, guys, make sure you play along nicely. Otherwise, we're going to get some Michael B. Bolton in our lives. And I know you guys don't want that. You guys remember this?
Well, that's good stuff right there.
How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? Let's make sure, Michael B., that I don't have to play that music tonight. Let's make sure everybody gets along. So, first things first, guys, we got to talk about what's going on in the world of home arcade and gaming news. But while we're waiting for the usual suspects to join the live chat, can we talk real quick about Doctor Strange without giving away any spoilers?
Absolutely. I want to hear about it, man. You hadn't seen it.
All right. Anyone in the live chat, did you manage to go see Doctor Strange like I did yesterday? I've been on vacation from work all week. So yesterday afternoon, my wife and I went to the premiere and saw the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie. What I got to tell you guys is this. Make sure you watch WandaVision on the Disney Plus network. Make sure you've watched the entire season of WandaVision before you go see that movie. I think that's the easiest way to put it. And I thought the movie was great. It definitely seemed like it's like the first Marvel movie that's kind of more like a thriller horror story. Does that make sense? It's like as scary as Disney is gonna get with these Marvel movies. You know what I mean? It's like this is gonna be the scariest one they make, right? So, really cool, great movie, and the Illuminati make a cameo in the movie. Everyone knows about that. That's been all over the internet for months.
The Arcade1Up Illuminati?
Nah, the Marvel Illuminati. So, yes, went and saw it by myself. Oh, poor Goofy Foot. He saw it by himself. Half the movies leaked on YouTube. Yeah, well, I made sure not to watch any spoilers or read any reviews.
Yeah, I'm
before I
avoiding
go.
spoilers like an MFer. Like, I am not going anything near this till I can get out and see the movie.
So
Yep.
you don't want to know that Peter Parker dies?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. So one thing I did hear about it was a lot of people put feedback out there that this is the most Sam Raimi-like movie since Army of Darkness. And that excites me quite a bit because you guys know I'm a huge Bruce Campbell fan. I'm a huge Army of Darkness Sam Raimi fan. So I'm very excited when I heard that feedback.
Kongzer, a lot of people are saying they like watching movies by themselves. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, right? Nothing wrong with it. Juan says the movie was great. Bill's going to take his daughter next week. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So, highly recommend it. Go see it. We can come back and talk about it next time. What else we got going on? Mike, there was something else that happened this week that we were talking about offline.
Who, me and you?
Yeah, about something that happened this week that you wanted to talk about.
Personal stuff?
Yeah, personal stuff.
Like when I had my accident? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure, we can talk about that.
So, all right, guys. It's time for my... You guys remember Michael B. and the cat dropping anchors, right? We'll never, ever forget when the cat was dropping anchors and when Michael B. was dropping anchors. And we'll also never forget when Michael B. on the Super GameRoom Dudes podcast show murdered his dog with his coffee cup. Michael B., what happened this week in your new office that closely resembles mine?
So the other day, PDUBS is a really nice guy on camera, but behind camera, he's not at all. So he was giving me a lot of shit about my office, how I had one side of the room with a light bar, then the other side of the room had no light bar. So, you know, he made several comments about he was going to get one light bar for one side of his room. But what happened was I was in the process of putting up the other end of the light bar. And when I film, like right now, I have my new gaming chair put up on its maximum height, which is a little taller than I really should, but it's good for my camera view. And I went to sit down in my new gaming chair while I was doing the lighting, and I sat in it wrong, and it's a little like front-sided. So I sat in the chair, and instead of just like sitting down, it actually launched me like a catapult, and I went face first at like 1,000 miles per hour. I slammed my head into the desk. I still question whether or not I didn't fracture my skull. The minute I slammed my head into the desk, my coffee cup, which you can't see here, but I've got a cup holder on this new gaming desk, that flew up in the air. I then hit the ground, landed in one of the kitty litters. The kitty litter just evaporated. I don't know where it is. Then the coffee finally hit me in the back and just covered me. So I was there semi-conscious on the ground, covered in coffee, and a kitty litter was completely emptied with no remnants left behind. It went into the ether. We don't know what happened to it. So, yeah, near-death experience this past week, thanks to some stupidity on my part.
I wish you caught that on video, man. I wish
at least it was on video.
I was rolling when Michael told me, and I was like, are you going to go back and refilm your chair review on how the chair might not be as stable as you said in your review video?
Well, it's super stable, except if you, and you know what, honestly, I will tell you a little scary thing about this too. My wife told me about it. I noticed because I use this chair when I'm doing the kitty litters in this room, and I noticed it's a little lopsided when it's up too high, right? You got to put it down lower because it's a really high chair. My wife, when she was pregnant, when I first got the chair, came in to sit down and feed the cats, and the chair tipped over on her. So we had a near pregnancy scare with it as well. So it's an awesome chair, but like I have little legs, like I have short legs, so you have to make sure you're at the right height, or it is a little I don't know what the right term is, front dangerous or front tippy.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you survived. Carl, how are you? How was your week?
Woo! Well, I'm officially on vacation for the next week, Monday to Monday. So I'm excited. It was a crazy week. I was working up until the point where I thought I might have to text you guys and say, hey, I'm not going to make it tonight. That's just how close it came to wrapping up something that had to get done, so they don't call me from the beach. Next week, Myrtle Beach. So it was a crazy week, but it's at its end, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah. Well, I hope you have a great time. I hope we get to see some YouTube content from you next week while you're on your
No,
time.
I'm not even going to touch a computer next week. I'm not gonna touch my phone. I'm not going to touch a tablet. And I wanted to say, PDUBS, happy birthday, right? You just had a birthday?
Yeah.
That was something personal that happened this week. Yeah. Hit 41, man. 41 times around the sun. I've hit level 41, so pretty excited about that. Go ahead.
I said such a youngster.
Oh, well, I'm old compared to RESTALGIA, who's like 25.
I can't help that.
All right, guys. So just a quick reminder. So we're doing our season finale. When we end around 10:15 or so, we promised the channel members we would do a members exclusive post show for channel members. What will happen is when this stream ends, you will be automatically redirected to that video and already be in the waiting room once we hit the end broadcast button. So we'll meet you over there. If not, there's links to it in the video description below in case you have to step away, come back. You need to find the link to the members only post show. We did promise our members we would try and do those once a month. So we're gonna do that tonight for them as well.
Once a month, every 6 months.
Once a month, every 6 months. There you go. All right, guys, let's get to the arcade and gaming news. Let's see what's going on here in the world of arcade and gaming news. Who are we going to start with? Should we start with iiRcade?
Yeah.
Can we advertise Detroit Loves TikTok first? I mean, this man should be a celebrity.
I can't pull it up. I don't have a TikTok account. Do you,
Oh, that's
Nostalgia,
too
can
bad.
you
You
log
do
into
not need
TikTok?
a TikTok account to pull it up. I don't believe. But I can try to find a link. I don't have anything set up.
So, guys, honestly, if you enjoy Detroit Loves content on YouTube, you are not going to get the same experience on TikTok because it is wild and wacky and unfiltered. You got to go check this shit out. Like, seriously, Carl is the absolute man.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's just silliness, just fun. I get up, poke around. If I see something I want to do, I do it. I'm usually in bed when I do most of them. So, it's
He
fun.
gets done filming his OnlyFans and then goes right to TikTok.
Vic Vicious wants to know if Arcade1Up is releasing a Mortal Kombat XL or Pro cabinet. They haven't officially announced anything, but we highly suspect that this is happening. We just don't know for sure when.
I don't anticipate them having a Mortal Kombat cab this year. I think that you're going to see the Mortal Kombat Legacy cab. I don't anticipate a XL cab this year. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
I think so.
mean, because you got the 30th. We'll talk about the Legacy cabinets when we get to Arcade1Up, guys, because those are going to be coming up for pre-order here soon. And man, that would be really crappy for them to put the Legacy MK30th up for pre-order and then like 2 months later, hey guys, here's your Pro Series MK. They might, Mike, that makes sense. Maybe make that wait 6 months before that one goes up for pre-order. That kind of makes sense in my opinion. We got a request. Someone wanted to see the cartoon image of Michael B watching the cat drop in the yanker. There you guys go. This was a staple on our show for a long time during this overextended first season of the Super GameRoom Dudes.
I love that that person knew the future and drew my dressercade as well in that picture.
That's kind of true. That's kind of true. All right. Do you have his TikTok pulled up?
I already sent it to you. I don't have it pulled up, but I sent it to you.
Send it to me via
Private chat.
Private chat, Facebook.
All right. Hang on.
You name it.
Grinder.
Your OnlyFans account. It's all there.
All right. So we're going to show everyone Carl's TikTok.
TikTok.
There's a couple in there you may not want to show because they'll shut us down.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks.
There's like some
gotta-
with
just
a
gotta
little
be
bit of
careful.
nudity. Carl's
There's-
like running around naked, full moon showing. It's
Oh my
wonderful.
God. Yeah, we're gonna get copyright claim on this guy's stuff. Make sure you find the real Detroit Love on TikTok, guys. Carl's TikTok videos are pretty hilarious. So you guys
He
definitely
gives
want to
some legit real life advice in some of them.
like I don't think I can play any of these because there's music in the background.
Yeah, but I think the important thing
we've
is
already demonetized our.
Yeah, but we don't want to.
The
We don't want to
intro.
get shut down.
I think the important thing to do is you can probably show this one with the eyes. This one was hard to watch. My wife got really creeped out.
This
The
one right
eyes?
here.
Also,
Yeah.
the Pinocchio one.
Although it may be cute, it's just a substitute because you're the one I love.
Oh, I do love
So
you.
take a good look at my face.
This is Carl living his truth.
Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. Look at that beard, man. That thing is full.
That is good. That is thick. Thick.
All right, guys. He's on TikTok on The Real Detroit Love. Make sure you guys follow him on there. I just put a link to it in the video description.
Yeah, the
Or
real
in the
Detroit
live chat.
love, except no substitutes.
Yeah, that's pretty funny stuff. Oh man, that was some creepy stuff, man. That was some creepy stuff. All right, guys, let's see what's up with iiRcade. This might be the last time we see this transition. Do, 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 do. All right, so iiRcade today announced some accessories. Michael B, why don't you tell them all about it, man?
They did what?
They announced some accessories coming soon.
Yeah, so ports. The port congestion is now cleared up, and the ports were revealed on the iiRcade Gold Edition to enable USB data devices to be plugged in specifically for accessories for the iiRcade. Not only that, all the people complaining for the past couple of weeks, expecting this was the announcement saying, oh, we're all left in the cold for us original users. They also dropped the bombshell that they're going to have Bluetooth connectivity for the older cabinets as well. No man left behind. Accessories are coming to all our iiRcade platforms, just depending on how you connect to the device.
Good stuff. Good stuff. RESTALGIA, what do you think about this? Is this going to be a win for iiRcade down the road?
I think it is foreshadowing some pretty cool stuff happening down the road. I don't think any of the games that they currently have in their library really require any sort of third-party accessories. So the fact that they have shifted in that direction and that's something they've actively developed indicates to me that we're going to see third-party accessory style games, whether that's with a trackball or with a light gun or whatever it happens to be, or a spinner, who knows. That means that we are going to get some games that require that type of accessory to play, and that, to me, is a good thing.
I just want to know if I can use the USB port to charge my Thunder Stick.
You hopefully can.
All right.
It also has NFC.
Carl, what do you think about the news today from iiRcade? And also, can you take care of the super chat while I find the video?
Super chat. Kongs Are Us says, thanks for the fantastic memories, Super GameRoom Dudes. Mrs. Kongs Are Us has a special video message for the dudes in your Facebook Messenger. Thanks again. That was a $10 super chat from Kongs Are Us. Thanks, buddy.
We appreciate that, my friend. I will download the video right now. We'll play for everybody live on air in just a quick minute. We all love Mrs. Kongs Are Us, so if she sent us a special message, we cannot wait to check it out.
But regarding the iiRcade, I mean, like RESTALGIA said, I just have to echo that. It says in that relationship that they developed there that they're going to be having some different games that are going to have different inputs. So that's exciting. What those games are, we don't know, but we're going to have some options. And you know me, I love my options in the home arcade room. So can't wait to see what those are.
So we've got a comment here from this guy, Glenn's Retro Show. I've never really heard of him before, but apparently he thinks that GRS and iiRcade are a good mix. And Glenn was a huge part of the presentation today because they're working with Glenn. And for people saying stuff like, does Glenn's stuff work with Bluetooth? It's going to. Glenn has been working with iiRcade for a long time. They sent him a cabinet, I mean, geez, over a year ago now. So this is not something that just happened overnight. They've been working on this for a long time. For the people concerned that Glenn's products aren't going to be working with the original iiRcade, he's had plenty of time to try to get this working. So, guys,
I was going to say, Mike, also, if you've ever used one of Glenn's products, you know that man is capable of doing some really high quality stuff. So there's absolutely no doubt if Glenn is saying, I'm going to make my devices compatible with Bluetooth, then you're going to get a really good experience.
Really good. Yeah. Yeah, I've used some of Glenn's products. My wife has some of Glenn's products. At least they're similar branded. So, you know, really, really cool stuff coming out of T-Sticks.
Now, Michael B has to do this this super chat here from Michael soon. Because
Come on. Can't wait for season 2. Thanks for all the hard work on season 1.
I just wanted to hear you say hard.
I tried to say it quick.
hard work. Yeah, I mean,
I do want to say again, like, guys, I've had some of Glenn's stuff. In my video today, I talked about it. I've done reviews on Glenn's spinner, not spinner, but his trackball on a Star Wars yoke. I talked about the other people that have made reviews, some really good, some really poor, like RESTALGIA made a video once. But, like, you know, there's some really good products out there that Glenn's made, and anybody who's touched it knows just how good and how passionate. And Glenn's not in this to make money. Glenn's not doing this because this is a way for Glenn to make a couple bucks. Glenn does this because he loves the community. He loves arcade experiences. So it gives me a lot of confidence to see him put his name attached to this. That gives me more confidence than just iiRcade throwing it out there themselves.
Yep. Glenn's already given away secrets. There will be Bluetooth adapter. He will get Bluetooth up and running on his peripherals. That is the whole point of what they're doing, to leave no man behind who owns an original iiRcade arcade cabinet. One of the biggest pressure points that I've noticed in that iiRcade gaming community since the announcement of the Gold Edition cabinet was owners of the existing cabinet afraid that whatever else would be coming soon would not be given to them on this new cabinet. And the fact that iiRcade is doing this, hey, we're going to give you Bluetooth so you can use the same accessories on your cabinet that will be available on the gold cabinet. They didn't have to do that, in my opinion. So to me, the fact that they're going to do that is pretty cool. Is pretty cool. I know AtGames tried to do that as much as they could with their system, right, between the 1.0 and the 1.1. And just to, you know, table set, there might be stuff in the future that maybe you just simply can't reverse engineer for the original cabinet, right? But the fact that when it comes to trackballs, spinners, steering wheels, light guns, the fact that a lot of this stuff could be compatible with the original cabinet and you're not obligated to upgrade, and hell, you're not even obligated to buy the accessories, I take all that as good stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are missing out on here. iiRcade was very open in their communications with the public about saying that nobody needs to upgrade to anything. You don't need a gold cab. You don't need to even buy the accessories. All the games that are going to be coming out that utilize the accessories will still be optimized to use the standard arcade cabinet controls. So as much as, you know, we want to support Glenn, we also want to tell people you also can still enjoy this without having to pay any extra money.
All right, guys, let's go ahead, Carl.
I would say if you really want to enjoy your cabinet, you have to get that 4-way to 8-way auto switcher, because that's a game changer. Literally, that's made my favorite cab, which is the vertical cab, super awesome, and it's just as authentic as a real cabinet now. So I love it.
All right, guys, everyone is eager to see what message Mrs. Kongs R Us sent us. I have it ready here, guys. It's only a 10-second clip, so make sure you don't blink.
Hi, fellas. This is Mrs. Kongs R Us. Thanks for all the fantastic memories. Have a great end of the season. Bye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Eyes up here. Eyes up here. Bye.
I need to take another look at that pinball machine behind her. Hold on one
Hi, fellas. This is Mrs. Kongs R Us. Thanks for all the fantastic memories. Have a great end of the season. Bye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Eyes up here. Eyes up here. Bye.
That was an awesome arcade pinball cabinet back there.
Thank you so much. Guys, big shout out to B Kong and Mrs. Kongs R Us over on the Kongs R Us channel. They have stepped in. They've helped us on the show. They've been guests on our show several times, and we've always enjoyed collaborating with them.
I love B. B's like the nicest. The Kongs family, they're just great, great proponents of the components of the community. So thank you so much, Kongs.
Yep. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's get back to this. So they announced that there's these peripherals coming, but they didn't announce any games. I myself put out an announcement video on my channel about this once they sent out the press kit to a bunch of people. If you want to make a video, make a video. If you don't want to make a video, don't make a video. That's how this crap works. And the biggest question I had is, it's really cool that they're announcing these peripherals, but then again, what games are you going to play with these peripherals, right? So what I am hoping, what I'm surprised they didn't announce any games that are compatible with these peripherals. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to say, hey guys, we're going to come out with a trackball in the future, why not announce a couple of trackball games? If you're going to come out with a spinner in the future, why not announce a couple of spinner games? You know what I mean? Like, really set the tone and get people excited. The game announcements didn't come, but they did confirm that they have over 100 games licensed that they haven't even announced yet or even put on the system yet. So we can only assume safely that a lot of these games that use these peripherals are probably in the hopper. And it's just, we have to wait for these things to become a reality. We're going to say, Mike.
John is such a tease. Like, he is definitely not the girl you want to bring to prom because you're not getting anywhere with John.
Right. Because it would have been better to make the game, like a couple of game announcements, right? Like, hey, not only, because, the first question is you're going to ask yourself is, well, what am I going to play with these controls, right?
See, Mike, I don't know. I think you're wrong. I think Jong is exactly the person you want to take to prom because he's such a wild card. He's I see Jong as being the life of the party. Are you kidding me? 100%.
Guys, we got a $20 donation from Mark Whitman. Thank you so much. And I got to tell you guys, Mark Whitman is our #1 fan on our Super GameRoom Dudes Facebook group page. We love Mark. Mark reminds us every Friday that it's Friday and that a show is coming. And he's just been such a positive member of our gaming community and our shows, along with his lovely wife who watches with him. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Whitman. We greatly appreciate that.
Also, everybody say a prayer for Mark that he gets his Broncos soon. It's been too long.
So Jaster says, how are these peripherals going to attach to the cab? Well, maybe Glenn can give us some kind of teaser in the live chat since Glenn is here, because that is also the question. They didn't really show what these things are going to look like.
Yes, they did.
I think it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Did they?
Yeah, they did. It's just this giant block taken out of a cubic cooler that they cut out, and they put the attachments in, and then there's two-sided tape on the bottom. You just
they got rid of the tape, Mike. They use Velcro now.
Oh, Velcro, nice.
Velcro. It's like really thick industrial Velcro.
All right. So you guys are trolling is what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure whatever they showed today, if they did show like, hey, this is kind of like what it looks like, I'm sure that's not the final design. You know,
it's
what
not
I mean?
at all.
It's more like a prototype, like, hey, can we plug this shit into this shit and make it work, right? So
John was also super clear about that. This is just something they basically built on the fly, 3D printed and put together just to show you the experience. But like, really good news for iiRcade today. But can we just sprinkle just a little bit of constructive criticism into the announcement possibly? Is that okay to do, or is that too negative? Can we?
We can. Of course we can.
Okay, so I love the announcement. I thought they did a really good job, but I do have some just constructive criticism. I thought like they did a great job explaining that the component they developed, the control deck, was really good, and it's not what the final product was going to be. And I have a lot of faith that Glenn's not going to build accessories that take away from the ergonomic and enjoyable arcade experience. However, it did kind of give the wrong impression. Like when they were playing Midnight Resistance and they were like, hey, guess what? Midnight Resistance, you guys, the original arcade, you can use a spinner to control the guns. It actually took two people with the setup they had to actually play the game, which really painted them in a bit of a different picture. And I'll also say the games that they utilized weren't necessarily, I can't remember the first one, Glocks, which I think is a breakout clone. I don't know much about that. Midnight Resistance was okay because you could use the spinner with it, but of course the guy was using the trackball instead of the spinner. And then the last one was Space Harrier, which you play with a flight stick, but they were like, hey, guess what? You know this game that you can play with a flight stick? How about you play it with a spinner? And I'm like, I don't want to play games with the wrong controls. Why do you want me to do that? So I think there were some missed opportunities of iArcade shouldn't focus too much time on maybe showing these components, working with games that saying this is a new way to play it. Focus more on games that require usage and actually build on that instead of just saying, hey, you can use that. Someone last week took that Fisher Price controller and said, hey, I got it working on Xbox. It doesn't mean it's the right way to play. So
no, it does. It's the right way to play. If I ever see you play Xbox without that controller, Mike, game over.
It's just I have a lot of confidence in iArcade. I have a lot of confidence, especially in Glenn. I think they're going to do a good job, but I do think they may have dampened the excitement a little bit with the delivery of the presentation of how it all works today.
So Kumarev gave us a $5 donation. Dudes, good stream. Crew, good clip. Dubs, hope you like Doctor Strange. No spoilers. I didn't give any spoilers. Mount Rushmore of gaming announcement tonight. Nostalgia, great background. Thank you so much, Kumarev. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys consider tuning in to Put Your Quarters on the Glass later on this evening. Goofyfoot said just a demo if it's compatible, etc. So, my impression is something like the Buy Stuff store mount. You know what I mean? Which, oh man, here, I'm going to have to make myself full screen. So the Buy Stuff store mount on my control panel for the flight yoke, like that thing easily squeezes on there, and the way the Buy Stuff store makes them, they don't scratch the plexiglass, they don't scratch the control panels, right? So maybe a mount like that to put them on the existing cabinets is what I would guess. If not, now let's say they don't do swappable decks. I mean, I would hate to have to spend more money to make it a better experience. But let's just say you're not happy with the mounts. Guys like DIY Retro Arcade and them guys cut a control panel, and you just, you have to move your controls, you know what I mean? And do a new control panel that you could actually fit it in, right? Like, I think there will be third-party solutions to make it a better gaming experience, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Would they be fourth-party solutions since the accessories are already third-party solutions?
Yeah, so it would be you're not thinking fourth dimensionally, Marty. So yeah, it would be
it'd be third-party twice removed.
Third-party twice removed. Either way, this community always finds a way to mod and make things better. You know what I'm saying?
You got to have faith in Glenn here. Like I said, these are very cool, but it all depends on what the experience is like. And if I got to get a second dude to come over and hey, control my gun while I'm playing Midnight Resistance, that's not necessarily the best experience. So I think Glenn, on top of coming up with a component, will also come up with a way for it to attach that it does have that excellent ergonomic third-party experience. And I believe he really alluded to that while during the live stream. It's just sometimes that gets lost because there's so much happening and you're just watching the experience that you forget what people are saying.
And one example of Glenn taking something and making it better is that 4-way to 8-way joystick, because Stefan Berger came out with that thing and it was a little different, but it worked, and he proved that the concept worked, and he got in bed, or not bed, but in business with Glenn, and Glenn made that product better. So, so that's an example of the concept works. I've seen it work. Let's get it together and present it better. And I think that's what Glenn's going to do with this as well, because, Glenn's name is on it. He wants it to be the best. That guy loves arcade. He loves the old school. He likes to be able to play with the authentic controls for whatever game that you're playing. So I have no doubt that they're going to work to get these controllers to work with games that use those controllers.
I agree. Speaking of new games, they put out Stormblade in the store today. So we got another vertical shooting game. This one is from Visco Pixel Heart. And then they also had a Coleco title, which I'd never heard of before.
Omega Race was also on the Atari 2600.
Yeah. So we got 2 games today. Obviously not big bangers, depending on your personal game opinion. But Mike, what do you know about Omega Race? I've never seen this before myself.
I had Omega Race on my ColecoVision. I think it's on Atari too, but I might be wrong. Someone can correct me on that. I definitely had it on the ColecoVision. So it's another Coleco game. It's fun. I'm guessing this one would be a good one to use with trackball, maybe that's a good time for why they released it today, or spinner. So yeah, looks like a fun game. I mean, if you're into getting Coleco on the iArcade, I don't know. I've never bought one of the Coleco games, so it's not my cup of tea, really. I'm gonna pay Coleco on Coleco.
Yep. So a couple of games in the store. If you guys are interested in them, make sure you guys check them out.
Just going back to the first game, Stormblade, was it? So is that one of the Neo Geo Visco games? Pixel Heart, is that also a Neo Geo title?
Yeah. I think this might be one of the ones that are on that Visco Countercade that's coming out.
The Visco Mini, but was it originally a Neo Geo title as well?
Couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I can't remember if I've seen it there as well.
Yep.
Glenn just confirmed with me Omega Race was on the 2600. I thought so. I've got the cart downstairs for sure.
All right. There we go. And so another shooter game. There's a lot of shooters on the iArcade, man.
But
Michael B loves it.
Yeah, I will tell you.
I want to see some other stuff besides.
I know, but like, I'm gonna take you back to a piece in history about iArcade. iArcade is in Chicago, very close to Galloping Ghost Arcade. And a while ago, if you go back on the iArcade fan pages and some of the iArcade information, iArcade went to Galloping Ghost Arcade, Michael and John, and I don't know who else from the team, and they did some research there. They went around and they went there not to go look at the hottest arcade titles of all time. I think they did some really cool research in finding out some of the hidden gems in the arcade world. And Galloping Ghost is one of the best places to do it. And really a section that's really untapped in the home arcade space right now is scrolling shooters, vertical and horizontal. I mean, no other company is really locked onto those. So iArcade has taken all these titles that no one else is going after and no one else is looking for and bringing them to the platform. I know people are saying, great, another vertical shooter, but I mean, pretty much the iArcade is known as the place to play great, probably less well-known vertical shooters. So if you're a shmup fan, iArcade's an awesome cabinet for you.
True. I'll give you that much. Still would like to see something else besides a shooter now.
What would you like to see, Peter? What exactly would you like to see?
Oh man, we got to get that. We got to get Street Fighter, man. We got to get Mortal Kombat, right? Like otherwise, selling this thing. No, I'm kidding. Charlie Chuck, $10, tuned in at 9 p.m. and got a work call at 9:03. Anyway, he's watching now. Cheers to all you guys for your contributions to the community. Thank you so much, Charlie. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I got to say a huge thanks to Charlie Chuck too on Chill and Chat with Michael B on Monday. He gave me a big super chat to go get a burger, and boy, oh boy, did I ever get! I got 2 this week. Thank you very much, brother.
Yeah, Qbert on iArcade? I don't know, man. Not with the joystick. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't really be able to play it the right way. Well, unless you put like a diagonal gate on it, it might be able to. But then you'd have to open up your control decks, slap on the gate. I don't think Glenn's switcher can get in that position. That 4-8-way switcher? I don't know if it can't get into the diagonal position. That would be cool if it could. Stevie B says he would like to get Neo Geo Golf instant purchase. There you go. Goofy Foot says, what shirt are you sporting? It's just a shirt that's got 4 arcade machines on it. That's it. Nothing fancy. Pretty cheap shirt off Amazon. Absolutely ridiculous.
Are you okay? Did something happen?
You just got to keep on scrolling. That's all.
That's
just rolling.
Stupid ass crap in the live chat. So
there was stuff in the live chat.
No, don't worry about it. Keep it going. All right, what's
Nostalgia?
next?
Me and you got to start fighting again to confuse people. Distraction.
So stupid.
So, are we moving on to Arcade1Up news there, PDUBS?
We can, but don't you think we should lecture the chat and just tell them why they shouldn't spam us?
No, quiet. They don't need the attention.
Yeah.
We'll never get to our after show if we.
All right, I just got some advice for everybody here. Shuck out the jive. Bring in the love. Come on, everybody.
All right, Michael B, what's going on in the world of Arcade1Up?
And nothing's good. It's all bad. It's pain.
All right, well, start off with the Seth Lacey super chat there, then, Michael B.
Actually, that's a really good comment. Seth, thank you so much. Can someone PDUBS? I did go to one horror convention accidentally. I was in Niagara Falls for a work convention. They do a National Spinal Cord Injury Conference there once every year around October. And while I'm there with my colleagues, I was at a TGIF restaurant. Thank God it's Friday. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to my colleagues about work. And I look over at the bar and I'm like, holy shit, that's Kane Hodder sitting at the bar. And of course, I didn't know for sure. So I went up to him and introduced myself and we got to take a really cool picture. And I said, yeah, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm here for the horror convention. Is that what you're here for? And I was like, nah, man, there's a horror convention. So then I got really excited and I got some time off from the convention I was at. And I ended up going to the horror convention, which is called Frightmare in the Falls, while I was there for the National Spinal Cord Injury Convention as well. It didn't overlap. I got to go. So I actually accidentally met Jason Voorhees in a Thank God It's Friday. Like, how ironic is that, right? So that's my horror convention. That's the only one I've ever been to.
Yeah. We did a 5K, and it was called Run for Your Lives 5K. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's a traveling 5K thing. They've been to a lot of cities across the country, and it's a 5K run where you run and you have flags on your belt, kind of like Capture the Flag.
Mhm.
And they have bunches of people who volunteer who don't want to run. They paint them and dress them up as zombies, and they attack you while you're running the 5K. Now, of course, they don't want anyone to get hurt, so they just reach for your flag. So if you like get through the 5K and still have all your flags, all your lives, you're eligible to win prizes. If you don't make it all the way through, obviously you're dead. You're not eligible for the bonus prizes, but you still made, you still get to run the 5K, but you got killed along the way, right? It was actually a really, really cool event. I'm actually going to pull up a picture here for you guys that I think you'll like.
That's pretty cool. I actually used to run quite a bit, and I actually had a app called Zombie Run that you could put your music in, but it would have like these stories of, and then at certain points the zombies simulated will be chasing you, so you have to pick up your pace, and they monitor that. So that's pretty cool. But that sounds really cool. I have to look that up, PDUBS.
Yeah, Run for Your Lives is what it's
Run
called.
for your lives.
It's pretty fun. Mike, start talking about Arcade1Up while I'm trying to pull up something.
Yeah, so I guess the big topic that's been on everybody's mind this past week with the NBA Jam announcement has been Screengate, and the question of whether or not the same, the only way to say it is seemingly bogus screen from the XL Golden Tee, 19-inch Golden Tee, is going to be used for the NBA Jam cabinet. And looking at the early promo pictures, certainly looks like that's going to be the exact screen. So there's a huge contingent of people divided right down the middle of saying, it plays okay, and other people saying, I can't believe that the screen's going to be that bad. I know personally, I am still yet to see the screen myself in person, so I can't make too many comments. But looking at all the images and stuff I've seen, it doesn't look very good. Now, PDUBS actually has one. I don't know if he wants to chime in at some point. I did hear from him that he said it's reminiscent of the quality of the Gen 1 Countercades. So, I mean, you're looking at around the same quality with that. I have a Gen 1 Countercade, and if it is, that's trouble because that Countercade is terrible. Other people have said it's okay, like as long as you're looking at it directly, you can see. I had one person rate me today. He bought a Golden Tee 3D XL from the Brick, and he was heartbroken because he actually sold his original Golden Tee to get it. And he is actually in the process of contacting the Brick, and the Brick let him do a full return. Mark Larocque, for anybody Canadian that knows the Canadian groups, they're going to let him do a full return for his Golden Tee 3D cabinet because of the quality of the screen. That's how bad it was for him. He just couldn't accept it, and he's heartbroken that he lost his original Golden Tee. So with the Shack cab coming out, people are very concerned about the screen. People don't seem as concerned about the issue with the art because they're saying it's a specialty cab. I know me and you, Detroit Love, we kind of went back and forth on that last week. I think you're right. It is a specialty cab, and I understand what people are saying. Fans of Shack, they're really going to like this. But at the same time, this is their dedicated retail cab, not a one-off cab that's a specialty on their site. So with this being a dedicated retail cab, it's surprising they didn't go with the original arcade art and just make it a standard NBA Jam cab. So I have a problem with that. I understand not everybody else does. People who like it. Problem's going to be the screen. And that's the big one that most people are stuck up on. Tons of videos last week. Some people didn't like all the videos, but tons of videos last week, and really good points made about the quality of the screen. And you got to make a decision on buying these. Hopefully Arcade1Up didn't buy too many of these screens, and they can shift, especially before the Pro units come out, because I mean, if you're buying Pro cabinets, something listed as a Pro series with a Pro price point, I mean, the quality better live up to that.
So
Yeah.
have they actually used that word Pro in any of the marketing?
Yeah,
Okay.
and Arcade1Up Killer Instinct is listed as a Pro series cabinet.
Okay.
So back when I attended the Run for Your Lives event, I thought you guys might find this funny. I, of course, didn't want to actually run 5K. I volunteered to be a zombie. So this is me with all the zombie face paint on. Check this out. Doesn't that look pretty badass, man?
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a torn up shirt and all that kinds of stuff. And
Why do you look so mad?
because I was trying to make a scary face for the selfie.
You look
So,
so
yeah.
angry, PDUBS.
That is also how PDUBS looked as after he leaves meal at Longhorn Longhorn Steakhouse.
Right. Yep.
And this is what I looked like when I was chasing the runners. You know, I wore the glasses. It was bright out. I had to wear the shades. You know what I mean? But yeah, we had a lot of fun. Look at all the blood and guts all over the shirt.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. If you guys ever want to do a 5K, 10K, find one of the ones that are the zombie runs where you actually have people chasing you. I think you guys will end up really enjoying them. Anyway, I just wanted to show that. I thought you guys might like that. That's pretty cool stuff. When it comes to NBA Jam, yeah, man, there's been a lot of heat about NBA Jam with the what are we calling it, Mike? We always call it Screengate, Monitor Gate, or is it Monitor Gate?
We can call it whatever you want. You can call me Sharon if it makes you happy.
Yeah. So, what's funny is you know, I forgot what we were talking about. Were you telling people that it looks like crap?
No,
Well,
he said it was hot. He said it's on fire. It's actually what he said.
No, I said I haven't seen one of these monitors in person, but based on the images that are online, especially Justin's video was so damning. Like the slight change in his angle and what it did to the ghosting on the screen was really concerning, especially considering that NBA Jam, no one plays directly front onto the screen. And if a minor altercation in your standing point causes that much ghosting and washing out, that's a really bad screen. That sucks. So I don't know, PDUBS, you can talk more about this. You have an XL cabinet. You have one of these screens. I was really hoping that once this came out and there was so much negative feedback for the Golden Tee 3D XL screens, it will give Arcade1Up time enough to shift production and maybe look to get another monitor. But it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like our early concerns about them having a warehouse full of these and having to use them is coming to fruition.
Yeah, I noticed there was some misinformation provided to the community from some other videos where they were saying that the monitor that's in the XL Arcade1Up cabinets is the same monitor that's in the iiRcade cabinets. And actually, guys, that is false. Now, both of these companies are using a 19-inch TN monitor. So they're not using an IPS monitor. They're using a 19-inch TN monitor. But they are completely different brands from completely different manufacturers, completely different models. And one is of better quality than the other, for instance. So they are not using the same exact monitor, make and model, etc. So if people are saying that that's not true.
What you're saying is that one of these monitors are not like the other one, not like the other one, not like the.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So, Yeah, so they're both using 19-inch monitors, guys, but they're not the same brand. They're not the same quality. They're not the same. They're not even made by the same company. So, like, just
Are they
something to
even
keep in
both
mind.
monitors?
Huh?
I said, are they even both screens? It seems like they're not even the same thing. Hello?
Carl, you're right.
Well, yeah. I mean, the picture quality looks really different between the two of them. You know, like if I put the Golden Tee right next to that iArcade, you would definitely see a difference. They don't match. They don't match. So I like Arcade1Up is 86% sizzle and 14% steak. There you go.
There's where's this comment here from Nooner? Do you want to bring up Nooner's comment for a second? I'd like to comment back on that. So his XL Golden Tee is playable, and as I mentioned, that's Arcade1Up's new slogan. It's playable. And guys, like, I love Arcade1Up. I do. And my friend Mike Dalton actually has this cabinet down to his place. Some people know him better as my alt account. So my buddy Mike Dalton has this cabinet down to his place. I've been meaning to get down there to check it out. It's really hard right now with the new baby, but I want to see it for myself before I pass too much judgment on it. I made a video this past week talking about the shitty screen and talking about the art on the side. My video wasn't so much meant to pile on about the shit about the cabinet being not good. My video was more so that I was concerned if this video bombs, Arcade1Up's going to get the wrong message and think that the community and consumers don't want XL cabinets, when that's not the case. There's problems with the cabinet that are scaring buyers away, not the price point or the design. The design and price point are fine. Well, maybe it could be a little bit cheaper. We all want that. But it's these actual mistakes with the quality of the screen and maybe the art for some people that will result in lower sales.
Mike, there is no way Arcade1Up could possibly think that people don't want a larger, more high quality arcade machine if this machine bombs. They have to know that they screwed up royally on the screen.
Businesses are weird. You know that as much as I do. They have yes men in their community, and if someone said, "Is it the screens?" they don't want to embarrass somebody else that might be their boss, so they tell them, "No, consumers just don't want this." Especially if it's two products right in a row that do poorly, that they expect it to be big sellers, they might turn around and say, "Wow, this product line is doomed."
Yeah, but you got a guy like John D who's like very involved in the community. Like, he is very involved in the community. So if anybody knows that their monitor that they're putting on this machine is going to suck, he'd be the first person at Arcade1Up to know that, because he hears it right from the community.
Yeah,
there's no doubt in my mind.
Getting a lot of feedback in our live chat, people pro and against the monitors, whether they're Arcade1Up or iArcade, and that's what it's all about, guys. We all huddle up and just share opinions and thoughts and reactions. That's it. And of course, we're never all going to agree all the time on every little thing. But that's why we get together and have these huddles. So.
Now, I'm right all the time. It's just these guys don't often agree with me, so they're wrong.
60.39% of the time.
I'm right 100% of the time, 60.39% of the time.
Yeah. I just don't understand the mob mentality of someone doesn't agree with my opinion, so like let's like have some kind of holy crusade, you know what I mean, whether it's on Facebook or Discord or YouTube. Like, seriously, you make a video with your opinion, other people make a video with their opinion, and that's it, and the viewers can make their own opinions based upon whatever the hell they want. There's no reason for any of that.
I mean, it is what it is. You can't be concerned with the way people react. If you're strong in your values, just put your stuff up there and hold your head high and let people say whatever they want. It doesn't really matter. I do want to talk about Kong made a comment in the chat here, and I'm sorry, I'm going to out Kong behind the scenes because he's a total Arcade1Up shill. So he was trying to tell us in our private chat that the stream was actually pretty good. So I don't know if we wanted to talk about. He made some good points though, that I think Arcade1Up is looking at it this way, that they're seeing it the same way I saw it. Like, us people here, that they consider us to be the 1%ers. They know that we'll probably not like these cabinets. We don't want to rehash. We don't want to. We might not want them as more. That these two cabinets specifically are more aimed at casuals. The XL cabinets to get in bars and other things like that. I made a point in my video saying I don't know if I agree with that. I think that Arcade1Up like to throw that casual comment out there a lot to say we don't rely on the hardcores, but I think we make up a much bigger percentage of their sales than they would like to let on. And I do think it's the hardcore buyers that are keeping that company in the position they are. So
Mike, what you're saying, I don't know how accurate it is, but there's a general rule of thumb in business, and 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customers. And you're 100% right that the core community drives that business, maybe not specifically in sales ratio, but certainly in terms of marketing. Yeah. Because you've got the really loyal fan base that are the ones that are very vocal. Oh, buddy, you need to come over and check out this sweet arcade machine I got. And that's how the word of mouth marketing ends up spreading. So yeah, 100%. I think maybe they want to market this, quote unquote, to the general consumer, but I also don't necessarily buy that either, because if you're a first-time Arcade1Up buyer and you buy an $800, $700 machine and you bring it home and you stand 2 inches off center and the screen looks like crap, that's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth and probably preclude or prevent you from going back out and reinvesting another $800 in a subpar arcade machine, regardless of whether or not Arcade1Up makes the improvements Generation 2, Generation 3. So I think it's I don't like that excuse that we're doing this for the general consumer. That's a cop-out answer.
Well, I'm not giving it as an excuse. I'm telling you that's what B said.
Right. I'm agreeing with you in the sense of like yes and no. It's maybe that's their excuse, but it's a really bad excuse, and it's a shitty perspective on how you should run your business.
Well, I don't think that's their perspective 100%. I think really they thought they were doing a good job here. I think someone just really screwed the pooch and didn't do any quality testing on these screens, and it's too late in the game to really recall anything or make any changes.
But also you have to factor in that they're constantly trying to expand to new markets, new customers, but they also have to keep the price at a certain point. You know, you put a better monitor in, that's going to increase that price by another $100 to $200. You know what I mean? So it's always a trade-off in trying to balance what the people want versus what you can afford to give them at the price that they're willing to pay for it. So it's always a balancing act, and they make compromises on every cabinet. I don't think there's any cabinet that Arcade1Up has made that has not compromised something, whether they put vertical games on a horizontal machine or put a game on. Like, what do you think?
There's
many different games you could have put on there, but they always make compromises. Except for one
there is only one cabinet.
There is only one cabinet that, my opinion, is damn near perfect.
Perfect in every way, shape, or
form. And at PDUBS, I know you're on the same wavelength as I am.
Let's say it at the same time. Ready?
One, two, three.
Star
Wars.
I'm kidding. It was Star Wars.
Yeah, it's all the Pac-Man cabinets.
Think about it. All right, so real quick, guys, $5 donation from Scarpad. Arcade1Up gave the Star Wars pinball for $420 this week. I grabbed one that they have to be sitting on stock at $749. I don't know what that means.
That means that they have a lot of inventory, and that's why they're clearing or trying to promote them as heavily as they are at $420.
Yeah. If your stuff's not selling, you put it on sale. You know?
Yeah, similar situation happened at the Brick this week in Canada. I was fortunate enough to get a tip off early that there was going to be a blowout clearance sale on some of their products that they were sitting on. So the Big Blue cabinet, people got a great deal on those, picking them up for $5.99. Canadian people, don't freak out. The Pong Pub table, that was $300 off at $4.99. Originally, it was $7.99, so huge sale there. And then some head-to-head tables, which I thought were bad ideas in the first place, which was the Midway Classics table and the Marble X Capcom. I mean, there's no arcade history for either of those to be in a head-to-head, but Arcade1Up put them out anyway. So it's the same thing again, just stock clearance. And sometimes you got to take a loss on this to move this stuff out.
Yeah,
I want to see those pinball machines for $150 again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that error that they had.
That
that's
was
pretty
like anybody who got one
I know.
is
So
so
lucky.
lucky.
Yeah.
That's a crazy good deal.
Yeah.
Even
Didn't
just for
Countercades on like an Amazon deal recently for like $20 or something?
$17.99.
That
Yeah,
is
let's put-
insanity.
let's-
I would
let's
buy
pull the-
1,000 of them.
Now, was that an error, or was that like one of those Amazon flash sales where this thing was like 20
Look
bucks?
at the price now.
No way. Yeah, it
It's
went
not-
on
it's
sale for
180.
$179.99.
Look at the price. $179.99.
Somebody made a keystroke error.
Someone forgot to put the extra
Oh.
9 in.
So that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why it was $18 and then someone moved the decimal point wrong. That's
And
so
Yeah.
you know
funny.
So
the cool thing about Amazon is they will always honor the price. If the price
Yeah,
changes
they will.
and it sells, it doesn't matter whose mistake it was, they will give it to you for that price. So like anyone who bought that, crazy deal. Can you believe $20 for a Countercade? That's a smoking hot price.
So there's a comment from Jordan. I guess Jordan missed our earlier conversation. Just again, are the XL screens the same as the iiRcade ones? No, they are not. Anybody who's putting that out there, that's misinformation. If they are, they could possibly be. It's like ketchup. Sometimes you buy Heinz. I don't know if that's a U.S. brand, but sometimes you buy Heinz, and then sometimes you buy the generic one, and they're the same one because they, produce the same monitor and then sell them through different companies. Both those monitors, the iiRcade one and the Arcade1Up one, have different brand names on them. But there is a possibility it's the same. But right now, according to what's on the labels, they are different monitors.
Yeah, totally different companies, models, makes, model numbers, totally different. Different specs as well if you Google the model numbers and pull up on like those, what are they called? Websites. They have like all the monitor specs on them. I forget the big one off the top of my head, but you can look it up on there. Specs are slightly different, etc. Jason says sometimes he buys Heinz, other times he buys Heinz.
Yeah.
There you go. He just totally destroyed your theory. How many of you got one of those Amazon Mortal Kombat Countercades? I just thought that was hilarious.
It was
Hey, man,
none of
if
my
you got 'em,
friends
that's-
told me about the sale. So
Yeah, I know. Holy shit! I know that some people went out and bought, like Rob Kessel from the Arcade1Up group. He went out and bought one, and then he went back and bought another 10, and he's going to donate them to a children's charity. And also, our good buddy CT Jason scored pretty heavily and picked up a bunch as well. And they're great to resell, especially at $20. You can sell them for $100, fund another arcade project, or even just for trades for other Countercades you want. I know Jamie Logan's sitting on a glut of Countercades he's trying to sell right now. Maybe he can look at trading for some Mortal Kombat ones
Mike,
with
I'm
somebody.
telling you, bro, 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customers.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
We got a question from Vessel. You guys never review head-to-heads. Is he talking about the cocktail?
Yeah, the head-to-head tables, cocktail
Yeah,
tables. They're called head-to-heads.
Yeah. So the head-to-head cocktail tables, I have no interest in those as a product. Just like the partycades that you hang on the wall, I have no interest in those. But I've reviewed plenty of Countercades. The only head-to-head I reviewed was the mini Pong head-to-head on my channel. That's it. Any of you guys pick up one of the Arcade1Up cocktails?
No, I've struggled. I would be the first generation. The black was sexy, but the issues with the size with those Countercades really brought me away. I was tempted at the two Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man head-to-head tables that came out in the second generation because they were a little bit taller. But then they also came out with the Street Fighter head-to-head. I didn't like that because, again, that's not a cocktail table game. I don't understand why they're trying to force these head-to-head shooters in that table format. Maybe it's an interesting way to play, but it doesn't have that arcade history that most people are looking for. They're not selling nostalgia with these products. So it misses the mark for me. And again, you guys know, you call me, and I'm the 3/4 scale diva anyway, so it's not like I'm going to buy a head-to-head table.
Oh my goodness, you're so funny. Okay, what else we got? Oh yeah, New Wave Toys boom boxes, guys. They're now available to order. I did a review of these on my channel, and overall gave it a positive review. I like this one. I backed the Kickstarter. And Michael, you didn't back this Kickstarter, did you? The M90s?
No, Replicade, and just going to be honest with you. For some reason, there's some kind of glitch, or maybe it's not a glitch, with New Wave Toys and my shipping address. Every time I go to try to buy their products, you guys saw it last week when they had the sale for 1942. My shipping is like 4 times the cost of shipping to anywhere else in Canada. So I did it last week with the 1942 cabinet. It was on for like $119 US. My shipping was over $130. So my shipping was $11 more than what the actual product was itself. So
You gotta buy that on Amazon, Mike.
well, apparently, yeah, I got to look for it to see if I can get it on Amazon, but I can't order directly from New Wave Toys.
Amazon.
But yeah. So guys, if you're interested in these, I think they're really cool. Definitely give you that retro vibe in your house. I like these. Some people were complaining that there was glue around the handles. My units, I didn't have like this glue thing that they were complaining about. It hasn't happened on mine. Like, I guess there was a lot of glue around the handles, excessive glue. But minus that, I can't think of any other complaint. Oh yeah, and there's a hissing sound when the Bluetooth connects on the larger units. And they said that there wasn't a way to fix that. So, but it's interesting. It's like when you first turn on the unit, you hear this boop beep sound, and it automatically goes into Bluetooth pairing mode, and you hear like this hissing sound while it's waiting to connect to your device. And then while it connects to your device, once it connects to your device and you start playing music from your cell phone, etc., it goes away. But apparently that hissing sound in between the connections, people saw a lot of feedback on that. People did not like that hissing sound. But it's only there for about 10 seconds, so it didn't bother me so much. We got a $2 donation from Scarpad Mike. I think this is for you. How much is yak delivery to the Yukon?
It's way too expensive. I will tell you that iiRcade has a merch store now, and their shipping is very reasonable and very quick. My hat came early. I'm very happy with the quality of the product, and shipping wasn't outrageous. Thank you very much, iiRcade.
And Shoeshine here, he loves his M90 Micro. He wants the Mini, but he just bought 1942 in Qbert, so he needs to wait. Yeah, New Wave Toys, I'm waiting on like 4 or 5 products from them, man. It's ridiculous.
Can you bring up the comment from Vessel?
Ice Road Truckers did an episode on delivering to Michael B's house. Now that is the comment of the night. Tom Garrett gave us a $5 donation. Is At Games dying? They seem to be mostly MIA, and the community is a ghost town. Well, that's what happens when you don't release new firmwares, you don't release new products. Things kind of settle, right? They kind of settle. So
I would be careful saying that it's a result of them not releasing new firmwares, because I don't think that really correlates. The truth of the matter is, it dies.
In my opinion, Mike, 75% of the traffic on their social media platforms were people talking about firmwares. Am I wrong?
No, that's fair. But
no firmware updates. No one's complaining.
And what I'm trying to illustrate, though, is the fact that iiRcade, At Games are in a period right now where they don't have a lot of product announcements, and their ecosystem doesn't involve bringing a lot of new games in. They've already, what you see is what you get in terms of the games that they have. So there's very little news and very little buzz or information around them. That doesn't mean that stuff isn't right around the corner. We know there's a Father's Day sale coming up. We've got the possibility of new pinball tables going to be released for the ALP.
Yeah.
And we also know that there might be even some new sneaky products coming out sometime soon, at least announcements. And the other thing is, I know for a fact that At Games made a decision that in the past, they've announced some stuff like the quad core deck, the bit LCD, and some products that maybe were a little bit too far out. And now fans have been complaining, saying, oh, well, we've been waiting forever for product X. So they have taken that fan feedback and consumer feedback to say, okay, guys, we need to be a little bit more careful and only announce products when it's a little bit closer to the release date. So while you're saying, man, and we're not hearing anything from At Games, that's intentionally done just so it doesn't get your hopes up too soon. And then there's other shit like the Bit Blaster was canceled. So they're a little bit gun shy, pun intended, to announce something that might not come out.
Yeah, I hear you. So, for those who are at Games fans, we'll probably hear something from them this month with their sales coming up, as well as at least some new pinball table announcements. And we'll just see what happens. I mean, if they have no news to report, it's hard to cover them. You know what I mean?
But it's not just hard to cover them. You're just not going to see a lot of coverage. I mean,
Yep.
YouTubers, we talk about the stuff because we're interested in it, but we also talk about the stuff because it's new and interesting. Like, you're not going to find many people with YouTube coverage on stuff that came out 9 months ago. It's very rare to see.
So there's a lot of people talking about breakdancing in the live chat. Unfortunately, guys, I am not a dancer, so no breakdancing whatsoever. Tech Buzz is here. He thinks PK is retiring. I mean, if he did, he's been doing this a long time. Everyone deserves that to make it to retirement, if that's the case. But I haven't heard anything about that myself personally. Breakdancing is for the after show. No, we're not going to do any breakdancing. That's funny, though. That's funny. All right, guys, we have unfortunately, we got carried away in a couple of our topics, so we only have about 5 minutes left before we have to cut tail and cut over to the other broadcast. Any other final thoughts, Carl, Restalgia, Michael B?
None here.
Final thoughts. The monitor for the Arcade1Up Shack cabinet sucks.
I do want to say there may I find it interesting that people are trying to create a narrative that people aren't talking about, like the iArcade screen having washout. Everybody's very honest about that. I consider these guys to be my friends. I consider them to be very honest, very forthcoming. There is some washout with the iArcade screen, but from everything I have seen, it's nowhere near reminiscent of what happens with the Arcade1Up screen. That's a night and day experience. And I'm the biggest Arcade1Up fanboy in the entire world. So, I mean, this benefits me in no way to say, but it's the truth. Like, if you look at the iArcade screen, it's from low angles. When you look at it from low up, you can notice some stuff, but where it's angled and from straight down, you don't really notice it. I don't notice it from the sides as much, but from the sides as much. Again, I've never seen it in person, but from video, there seems to be significantly more washout and different washout on the Arcade1Up screen. So we're not saying there's none on the iArcade, but you're not talking about a 1-for-1 experience.
I also don't know who would be saying that nobody said anything about the iArcade screen. I'm actually 60.39% sure that in my review video, that was one of the things that I said was like kind of a letdown with the iArcade. That being said, in my opinion, I don't think it's really a good idea to say like, hey, this company came out with not the greatest monitor, so why are you complaining about Arcade1Up doing it? Well, one, Arcade1Up has done it for several years now, and they've put out devices with excellent monitors. So the argument is like, well, another product with the same size screen has washout, so why are you complaining about the Arcade1Up? Well, no, Arcade1Up is the biggest guy in the industry. They have already done this. They have the experience. They know what a good monitor is, obviously, because they've released cabinets with it.
Yeah.
You're holding a company to a higher standard because they claim to be the best in the business. So you expect the best out of the best in the business. I think that's just a fair statement.
Yeah, you don't expect them to go backwards. I mean, the first, my Arcade1Up Galaga there with the original screen has washout on it. My Countercade has washout on it when you go to the side. Again, we wouldn't expect Arcade1Up to come out with cabinets without backlit marquees now. To go backwards, that would be a mistake. I mean, so again, we're asking them to, make the best product they can at the price level that they're, bringing them out. But we don't expect them to go backwards with the technology, to either stay with what is good or get better.
Can you bring up the comment from Kong Zaros again really quickly?
Yes.
Look at Kong Zaros
Kong, bro.
angling for another dinner from John D.
Oh, stop. Stop teasing him. Stop.
You were on our show and you're like, look, it's not that bad. And then from the angle of your own video, you could not make out anything that was happening on the screen.
I mean, Jesus, the promo shots for NBA Jam, their own promo shots. I mean,
Yeah, you guys are hilarious. All right, guys. So if you are a channel member, once this stream shuts down, you're going to be automatically redirected to the members only show. But in case you get lost along the way, check the video description for this video. And there's a link there to get you over to the members only post show, the once a month show we do for channel members. Also, guys, it's been a fun first season, but it's time to change things up and get a little... I don't like it when things get stale. Anyone who knows me, who watches my channel, every 6 months I change. I do things differently. I reinvent things. I don't like it when things get stale. I always try to find new ways to keep you guys entertained and engaged. So after this, our next episode will be our season premiere with a whole new show concept, format, graphics, segments, and hopefully you guys will come back. And hosts. And hopefully, especially hosts. And hopefully you guys will come back and check out what we'll be bringing the second time around. And hopefully you'll like it just as much as this one, if not better. Carl, whenever you're ready, send everybody on their way. And channel members, we'll see you over on the members only stream in just a couple of minutes.
Well, guys, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. And if you want things to be the same and boring, that's why I stay on this show. So stick around for the after show. If you haven't joined right now, click that button and join us in the next one. And until next time, we'll see you on the web.